just the other day, she asked me like, Mom, can you help me clean the room? Because I didn't want to just say, no, I'm busy. I turned it around and kind of shamed her. And I said, don't you think you're old enough to clean your own room? Right? Oh my God. And she was like, now, Mom, do you see? Why do you have to insult me? It's an implied insult that I'm acting too young for my age, you know, and I'm being dependent. And in my head, I'm like, yes, you are.
Hi, everyone. I'm so glad you're joining us on this episode today. Before we dive in, take a look at this. Kids should be seen
at the park, in the woods.
I love you, but
I have to do work.
I brought you into this world.
To do something.
I brought you into this world.
So you would feel nice.
Oh, I just love the innocence of my children. This is actually a TikTok trend we've been seeing for quite some time now, where parents ask their kids to finish these sentences, and their answers are so heartfelt.
I brought you into this world.
To be a bestie?
That's actually so good.
But I can think back to when my mom or dad or grandparents or someone would finish these sentences in the not so nice way. I mean, think about it. The way we were raised unconsciously impacts how we parent our kids. We have a great guest today. Dr. Shefali is a clinical psychologist. She's a podcast host, and she's also the best-selling author who wrote the book, The Conscious Parent. So she believes that when we take a long, hard look at our own baggage that we carry from our childhood, that maybe we can make space for new ways of doing things. I'm so excited to welcome today's guest, Dr. Shefali. Dr. Shefali, thank you so much for talking with us.
Of course, I'm so excited.
Let's start at the beginning here and talk to me about unconscious patterns in parenting. What does that even mean?
Yeah. So, when I started talking about conscious parenting, oh my goodness, 15, 20 years ago, no one was talking about it. And people were really scared to talk about the parents' unconscious because parents have, at least back then, were put on this pedestal. And, children were our possessions and they were supposed to just do as they were told. And so no one questioned the parents' superiority. I mean, really, that is the making of a tyrant.
I think back to the way my parents parented. I would never have thought of them as tyrannical by any means, but there was a level of respect that we were supposed to show my parents. I was never hit with the wooden spoon, but the threat of the wooden spoon was always there. Like if I was misbehaving at dinner, if my mom got up to go get the wooden spoon, I knew it's time to back off. I needed to, know my place at the table and, stop doing whatever it is I was doing. So I find like a little bit of that fear of parents could be good in a way because it gets kids to behave the way they should be behaving, right? So like, talk me through that feeling I have.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that fascinating that your mother, it's like Pavlov's dog, which were conditioned that if the bell was rung, the dog was going to get food. So it began to salivate even at just the sound of the bell. And the same, I mean, no offense, but that's how we were all conditioned that, if my mother even gets up in the direction of the spoon, I know what that means. And I've associated that with a punishment, or that look means something, bad is coming down the pike. But
it put me in my place. So what is wrong with that?
But the question to ask is, was that the only way you needed to learn to be put in your place? Did your brain need to get wired in that fear, through that fear, for you to learn that you needed to behave? Could there have been other ways that you could learn the same thing? And I think that's something we need to lean into.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't there have been another way? And I think many of us get uncomfortable having to question our parents' ways, because that may lead us down a path of of, wow, maybe my parents didn't really care to look for another way, or maybe they didn't know another way. Maybe they were raised through trauma. And it kind of opens up this whole Pandora's box that I think many of us don't want to open up. So we hide behind this kind of cliche. Well, what's wrong with that? Or look at me, I'm fine and I don't live in fear. But I think deep down, there is an association of, being good comes at a cost. And the cost is of our authenticity. And I think you and I were raised as very good girls. And we need to question that because it shows up in our life now. And we may wonder, why are we so scared to speak our truth? Well, these patterns got grooved really early on in our lives.
I think, with the wooden spoon example, I know now as a parent, I'm never going to use a wooden spoon on my kids, right? Like there's no physical danger to the kids. But I'm wondering what other patterns that I picked up from my parents or grandparents, whoever was watching me, what are other examples of patterns that we could pick up that we don't even realize that we're using on our kids?
So if you observed your parents kind of lose their right? Over, you lost your backpack or you misplaced the keys. Well, somewhere you will adopt that ego pattern yourself of the fighter. And you see that in so many people, especially men who kind of just lose it. And they have learned that style. Or what I would rather say is that they did not learn another way to behave. Another very common pattern is that of the fixer. And many super competent empathic women, probably like you and me, are fixers. And what that means is that whenever there's a moment of stress or upheaval in our lives or our children's lives or our partner's lives, the fixer rushes in to rescue, to save. And they look really good and they look really loving. What the fixer eventually begins to realize in her later life is that she's exhausted. And she's exhausted because she managed her stress by saving people. She managed her stress by being the martyr. And she paid a price for that. And the price was her own well-being.
And I'd imagine the person she's fixing is also not benefiting from the situation.
Well, they have an immediate gratification, but eventually they become codependent, which pisses the fixer off. And then what happens to the fixer, interestingly enough, is that the fixer becomes a fighter, right? And so many times you'll see a combo, a deadly combo. You see a combo of the fighter and the freezer.
What's the freezer?
The freezer is someone who just kind of checks out after a moment or two, right? So they lose their and then they kind of check out, like they've done their thing and then they leave. And many dads will do that. Like they'll yell and then they'll just disappear. And you're like, where did you go?
It's funny you say that because, I'm thinking of the clearly negative things that maybe I've seen my parents do when I was younger. But when you say the freezer, I mean, there are times when my kids are just fighting, and they come to me and they're like, so-and-so hit me and did this and that and this. And I'm like, I'm out. I can't, you guys figure it out yourselves. There's nothing I can do. And then I step away but I never thought that was a bad thing. It was just, sometimes I can't give to the situation.
I don't think any of these are bad. All of these are adaptive, and we have learned to cope with stress in these ways. So the task of a conscious parent that I always talk about is not to feel guilty, not to, blame or admonish yourself, but to be a curious investigator of your psyche and say, interesting that when the stress level gets to a certain level, I check out. What is that about? And it's about really becoming aware, not entering a guilt trip, because a guilt trip is another freaking pattern that now we're flogging ourselves and feeling like victims. No, that's just another self-serving pattern. So patterns are everywhere. What's really powerful about recognizing our patterns is that we concomitantly have the power to break these patterns, to disrupt these patterns. And that is where our liberation lies. I'm breaking the pattern of a fixer, and I've learned to now say, let me think about it. Give me some time. I need time and space. And I feel terribly guilty when I say that, because inevitably what I create in the person who I'm speaking with or I'm interacting with is that they get pissed off. I create anger in them. And that is the perfect way to create guilt in me to then make me backtrack, right? But really, they have a right to be angry. You know why? Because I have set them up to expect that I'm going to fix everything.
Yeah, right away.
Right. So they are just working on cue, but I get so upset when they get angry and then I backtrack, which is perfect, which keeps us in this endless locked pattern of cause and effect, of stimulus and response, and then no one breaks the pattern. So I have learned now, they're going to get angry. You're going to feel guilty. Now break that pattern.
So it can be done, you're saying. These patterns can be recognized, and you can throw like a little cog into the machinery here to kind of stop that cycle.
You can absolutely break the pattern. That is what is called the inner work. And it just takes persistence. Sometimes we think in our naivety, I meditated 2 weeks ago for 5 minutes. It's like saying I picked up 10-pound dumbbells for 2 minutes. It's like that, right? It's a muscle that you have to keep reinforcing. You have to keep going to the gym. You have to keep cleaning up your inner space.
For the parent of older kids, and if they're listening to this and they've gone back and they're like, oh shoot, I spent most of my life as the fighter or the fixer, or whatever, mask they were wearing. Is it too late? Is there a point where it's too late to, change the way you approach parenting?
What I teach in conscious parenting is that it is not about the child. It is about your growth and your evolution. So even if your child is 35 and you've now realized that you need to stop enabling them for you. And guess what? What I have found through years of coaching is that children are always ready to at least hear the other side. They may not be ready to forgive and forget, but they're ready to heal with their parents. And healing takes time, but children need it more than anything. Even if your child is 40 years old and has, said that they've emancipated themselves from you and they hate you, there is a part inside our children that is still a little girl, a little boy, that is yearning for its parents to show up and say, at the very least, that I totally effed up, and I'm at least realizing that it was me and it wasn't, it's not you. That is such a beautiful gift we can give our children, that we can give anyone in our lives.
If we focus on some of the positive patterns that exist out there, I think of some things I do as a parent that I'm proud of myself for. What are good patterns to incorporate into parenting?
I think one of the best patterns I've seen parents pass down is the gift of failure. When our children can observe the imperfections in us as parents and see how we embrace our flaws and our limitations with humor, with candor, with an ease. The other positive patterns are, having no guilt, having no regret.
How do you do that between mom guilt and feeling guilty for the way I handled a situation, or, just, I don't know, guilt is like the thing I feel every day. How do you get through that?
Well, you have young children. So my daughter's older. My latest mantra with her is, I am who I am. It is what it is. And you got to just accept it. It is what it is. That's just my daily mantra now. And I think there's a beauty in teaching our children that mom's not perfect. Life's a show. Get with the program. Where is utopia? If you find utopia, I'll buy the ticket. But till then, it is what it is. And I think it's okay for children to learn that. I think we in this generation have kind of overcorrected the negligence of our parents and the abuse that we tolerated. And we are now tippy-toeing too much around our children. And we're indulging them with this fantasy that perfection is possible. And then we get upset with our children, especially Gen Z and the millennials, when they can't tolerate anything and they're canceling everybody. Well, they learned that from us. So instead of teaching them to cancel things and to be so highly intolerant of even the slightest slight, we need to teach them that, no one is perfect.
So how does a conversation like that actually go? Especially if you're dealing with a teenager who could be rolling their eyes, they don't want to have the conversation, but you want to toughen them up a little bit to be able to handle adversity.
Well, it really happens in the most practical of moments. Say you're late for pickup. Do you have to say sorry 1,000 times? That's how I used to be. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Let's go for
Mhm.
ice cream. Let me make it up.
Yes,
I'm such a
yes.
bad mother. Oh my goodness. Now the chill mom that I've become, I go, it is what it is. I'm late. If there was traffic, I don't panic
Mhm.
anymore.
Hmm.
I don't rush to make excuses. I tell her to wait and to just zip it and to deal with it. And I don't care.
Hmm.
I really don't care anymore. And that sounds so, like bad parenting, but it isn't, because as long as we as parents are trying our best, we need to let go of being perfect. We just have to
Hmm.
let it go. The greatest disservice I did to myself was protect my child from my imperfections. And I protected her so much that she now can't even handle when I'm crying or I'm a mess. Like, she's like, Mom, like, who are you?
Yeah.
Or when I'm walking around in my pajamas for days, she's like, where's my mother? And
Right.
I'm like, this woman's in town now, I was just hiding her. And I think it's a relief for her to see that I'm human, because it allows her to be
Hmm.
human.
Man, this is just so eye-opening because I can remember there was one time my flight was delayed getting back. I promised my oldest that I'd be there to pick him up from school, but the flight was delayed. I didn't get back till after dinner. He's upset when I walk in the door, and it's just like I'm apologizing left and right. And then even after it's settled, as I tucked him into bed that night, I'm like, I am so sorry I wasn't here to pick you up from school today. And it's like to look at it from a different perspective. And it's like, my flight was delayed. It is what it is. What can I do?
But because you have younger kids, you can be a little bit more empathic than me.
Mhm.
And you could say, it is what it is. You could say, I know you're disappointed. Mommy didn't come on time, but mommy works and flights get delayed, and this is life. And I'm so sorry
Mhm.
you feel bad, but we got to understand this is going to happen again.
Hmm.
Right?
What other examples like that, or that you've heard from others that, folks watching right now could relate to and kind of handle that situation differently?
Well, there's so many, right? If you and your partner argue, God forbid you argue in front of your children, and you're worried your children are traumatized, right? They're not. They're not going to be
Hmm.
traumatized watching you argue. Yes, they may be traumatized watching you both scream at each other. But again, we have so much guilt over just normal human things, being late, or a divorce, or a fight, or an argument, or you ordering food in for the 10th time and not cooking, right? We have put so much pressure on ourselves to live in a glass castle that is simply unrealistic. And actually what we're doing in protecting our children is creating great fragility. And then we
Hmm.
complain that our children are too fragile. Right now, I'm not saying we should go the other way, where our parents were these benignly neglectful, bordering on downright abusive. We don't have to go there, but we also don't have to be, treat our children as if they're these little buttercups and, butterflies. We need to kind of toe the gritty, fine line of imperfection with a heightened attunement and empathy and awareness.
What about for folks who maybe think that, they don't really have any bad patterns that they've picked up from their parents? Or what questions should we ask ourselves to find out if there are some negative patterns that we're projecting onto our kids?
it's not if we have negative patterns that we're projecting onto our children. It's how do they show up, and how many times did they show up today. And it's not about being doom and gloom. It's about being awake. If you're awake in today's world and you are deeply connected to yourself, you will see your ego pop up every hour, right? And it's not about that being a bad thing. It's about the degree to which your ego is in the driver's seat. The issue is not about having an ego. The issue is about how blind are we to our ego, and how incensed and loyal is our ego to itself.
Is there an exercise we can do on a typical day where we can kind of highlight when that ego surfaces and how we're projecting onto our kids because of it?
The ego is really so brilliantly subtle that it can show up in these very tiny ways, such as, your child begins to hum to a Taylor Swift song, and you begin to notice that your child has a really, a lovely voice. And you then just subtly start steering your child to, you sing so well. I the other day, a music teacher came to work and was telling me about her music lessons. And then you start kind of steering your child slowly to become a professional next Taylor Swift, and then the ego will say, but what's wrong with that? I'm only encouraging my child. But what the ego fails to allow you to see is that your child didn't ask for it, and how cleverly your ego snuck in there and kind of made it your agenda without your child's consent, right? Or you're posting stuff about your child online and you don't think to ask your child, but your ego makes you believe that you're doing it for the sake of your family. Right? So the ego creates all these brilliant rationalizations that you're doing something for the good of your children, when actually it's full on 100% all about you.
Okay, what about this one? Because I have pushed music on my kids, because my biggest regret growing up was that my mom never pushed music on me. And I wish to this day I could play the piano or I could play the guitar. So I want them to try it. They don't love it. He doesn't practice. It's not like he's drawn to it. But isn't that a skill that they should have? I don't want them to feel the way I do in the future, that, man, I wish somebody pushed me a little bit.
Yeah, so that's a great question, because we all want to expose our children, especially to things that we wish our parents had exposed us to. Step one is recognizing that we are doing something for our children coming from our baggage, coming from our childhood. We cannot allow for our baggage to superimpose our children's own inner knowing. So while we are being very ambitious parents, and no harm in being ambitious for our children, we need to also allow our children to develop an inner ear so they can listen to their own inner voice and have access to their own inner knowing and authority. Otherwise, they will not be able to manifest for themselves. So it's a beautiful dance where the parent steps in and offers, right, puts it on the buffet table, but then allows the child to kind of dictate their own hunger. If you override their hunger with your hunger, then you will create a performance, a people pleaser, a compliant child who is detached and disconnected from their own inner capacity to manifest for themselves.
I loved hearing your conversation with your daughter. What did you learn about yourself by asking her questions?
Can we just talk heart to heart, mother to daughter, in a way that's stripped of all ego?
I'm just shocked that you still want to be with me the way you do.
Ew, don't cry.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Nothing that I haven't learned from her almost every day, but I'm always amazed at how unconscious I am, right? And I have no compunction saying that. I love saying that because that keeps me humble. Each time I think I'm getting it, she'll remind me, and sometimes I do get it right, but the times I don't, she'll remind me, Mom, you're making this about you. You're centering yourself. Just the other day, she asked me, like, Mom, can you help me clean the room? Right now, because I didn't want to just say, no, I'm busy, I turned it around and kind of shamed her. And I said, don't you think you're old enough to clean your own room? Right? Oh my God. And I said it so easily,
Yeah.
And she was like, now, Mom, do you see? Why do you have to insult me? But why? I was like, is that an insult? I was like, that's not an insult. I was like, you're old enough to clean your own room. She's like, it's an implied insult that I'm acting too young for my age, and I'm being dependent. And in my head, I'm like, yes, you are. Anyway.
So how does the rest of that play out? I mean, what do you do in that situation?
Her point was just bloody say no. And I was like, oh, okay. But I was like, see, then I'm the bad guy. Why am I the bad guy? Instead, you should not ask me at that age. You see, you're making me feel bad. And she's like, see, that's you, Mom. That's your ego that you think I'm here trying to make you a bad guy. I was totally tripping, I was like, why? Because I don't want to be the bad guy. I was like, don't make me say no.
Of course. It's so refreshing to hear that you spiral as well when you know all the different things, and you're very conscious about how you parent. So it's comforting to know that these situations even pop up for you too.
If you know your pattern, then you'll know what your thing is. Like, I know my thing is like, don't make me say no. Like, I hate, don't make me the bad guy, right? Figure out your own don't make me the bad guy. So when that shows up in me, I'll become mean to somebody else. Like, and I've begun to notice that. So that's why it's so powerful to know your patterns. And I outline all of this in my book, The Parenting Map.
Well, that's what I want to ask. I know you have your books and your podcast, but if there was one little bit of homework you could give to each of us, what's one thing we could try today to help us recognize these patterns and how to behave in the best way?
Well, I'll give you two. Number one is ask your children, what's something that mommy does that really upsets you or annoys you or frustrates you? And you'll be surprised at how many things they'll tell you. And the second thing is start checking in with yourself and tune into how you feel. Because just before the ego shows up, if you can become really aware, there's a moment that you feel anxious or upset or sad, and then the ego comes to swoop in. So the more you can become aware of your feelings moment by moment, the more conscious you will be in your life.
We do one segment here where we talk about parenting confessions, either a win we've had or, a time where we were challenged and maybe didn't handle a situation the right way. If you could give us another example of just a parenting confession of yours, what would it be?
Well, I think, like I said, I'm very defensive, so if my daughter says, Mom, why did you forget to pay my school fees? Instead of just saying, oh my God, it's because I'm just, fool, or I forgot, or I'm so forgetful. I'll start, well, you know how hard I work. And, I'll go into this, I'm, taking care of so many things. And if you had reminded me, right, I'll launch into like a defense attack thing. And I so don't like that about myself, but it's one of my hardest patterns to break.
I feel so seen. It was, I really do. I mean, it's Dr. Shefali, so wonderful to talk with you. Thank you so much for your advice. And, yeah, I think I'm just going to go into the rest of this day, keeping so many of the things you said in my mind, front and center, and really trying to figure this out a little bit more. So thank you.
But thank you. Thank you for having me.
Wow. I have so much to think about after that conversation with Dr. Shefali. I mean, I do find myself as the fixer. I'm the one who does it all. Like, why make the kids do something that I could just do for them? That does set them up for not being able to handle those situations themselves. But I am definitely a freezer. I mean, there are times where I am maxed out. I can't solve one more thing today. I can't do one more task that I'm out. Sometimes you just have to step back, you know, I don't want to say look at your own failures, because they're not failures. They're just patterns. Like Dr. Shefali said, you know, some are right, some are not necessarily wrong, but things maybe we could do a little bit differently. So if you have comments, if you have anything you want to say, just write them below. You can DM us at Today Parents. You can follow me at Dylan Dreyer NBC. And thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC, or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.